and we love to dance. Hit it! Oh, yeah.
What a bizarrely happy ending to this week's Confrontation Street. But it was all for a good reason. Celebrating new Deadly 60, which is back at 7:45 weekday mornings and 4:30 in the afternoons. Oh, yes. Right now, though, it's brand new Horrible Histories Gory Games, followed by brand new Horrible Histories. Oh, you love it.
If mummies, rats and fleas ain't your thing and you don't like the sound of an exploding king, if you're easily scared and you don't laugh at poo, you better turn off, this show ain't for you. Still watching? Then let's test your brains with Horrible Histories Gory Games. Horrible Histories Gory Games.
Hello and welcome to Gory Games with me, Dave Lamb.
And me? What's my name?
You all right?
I was in my dressing room and a woman came in, screamed, and someone hit me with a shovel.
Well, I suppose that's an occupational hazard for a rat.
Oh, I'm a rat? Oh, that would explain the hairy arms and the whiskers.
Yeah. This is the show where you get to test your knowledge of horrible histories with quirky quiz questions and gory games.
Oh, yes, it's all coming back to me now.
Good. Just try to keep quiet. Let's meet today's horrible historians.
Hi, I'm Christian.
Hi, I'm Isabel.
Hi, I'm Harry.
Excellent. There they all are.
Let's get the show started with a warm-up game I've come up with called Man-Eating Cats.
No way. Not on my watch. All right? We are not having man-eating cats in the studio. They're incredibly dangerous. That bang on the head has sent you over the edge.
I didn't mean man-eating cats as in cats that eat men.
Well, thank goodness for that.
I meant man-eating cats as in a man who eats cats. There was one who used to do it for the crowds as part of a Georgian sideshow. He used to eat dead ones. But I thought it would be much more fun if we ate a real one. First person to eat it wins.
No. Absolutely not. All right, don't worry. You won't have to eat a cat.
Why not? He'd eat me.
Wait a minute. That's Socks. That's the Blue Peter cat.
Well, we are at the BBC. Where did you think I was going to get a cat from?
Are you trying to get us both fired? I'm going to take him back before someone misses him. Come on, Socks.
You sport.
Feeling better?
Oh, much, thank you, Dave.
Good. Christian, Isabel, Harry, you are playing to win year spheres. Each year sphere contains a historical date, and at the end of the show, your year sphere dates will be added up, with AD dates being added to your total and BC dates being subtracted from it. So if these were your year spheres, we'd add 1,215, then subtract 480, giving us a total of, Rattus?
735.
Crikey, that bang on the head really has messed with your brain.
At the end of the show, the person with the highest year score will win a truly amazing prize.
Yes, imagine a games console, a widescreen TV. Then forget all that and imagine some old rubbish that he's dragged out of the time sewer, because that's what you're getting.
Don't worry, though. I usually try to clean off most of the poo.
Bonus! Right, let's get cracking, and to find out what this round's about, it's over to the gory grid.
It's the awful Egyptians.
4 questions as always, and here are your 4 Egyptian topics. Mummies, soldiers, Tutankhamun and pyramids. Christian, it's your turn to pick first this round. What are you going to go for?
Pyramids.
Pyramids. That is a prop question.
Oh, prop question.
We're going to stop doing that now. True or false? Pyramid workers were paid partly in radishes and garlic. Let's see those answers now, please. There we go. So Christian and Isabel agreeing on true, Harry out on his own with false. Well, I can tell you that it is, in fact, true. After pulling huge stone bricks all day in the hot sun, I suspect poggy breath was the least of their worries. Do you fancy some of that?
No, thank you. It gives you pongy breath.
And that'll be the least of your worries as well. OK, Isabel, let's pick a topic, please.
Mummies?
Mummies. Let's hear that question.
True or false? In early Egyptian history, mummification sometimes went a bit wrong. And when a mummy's arms dropped off, they used a stick instead.
Is it true or is it false? OK, everyone in total agreement. They've all gone for true. Are they all right or are they all wrong?
It's true. You need some big old sticks to replace these guns, though. Check out these babies.
OK, Harry, your turn to pick a topic.
Tutankhamun.
Tutankhamun. That is a question from my esteemed colleague, Mr. Rattus.
Thank you. True or false? Tutankhamun's tomb was cursed, so all the archaeologists who discovered it died soon after they entered it.
Is that true or false? Show me now. Isabel and Harry think it's true. Christian out on his own with false. Who's right, Rattus?
It's false, I'm afraid. The infamous Curse of Tutankhamun was a story made up by the papers. Howard Carter, the lead archaeologist, lived for another 17 years. So don't believe everything you read in the papers.
OK, one question left in this round. It's a question on soldiers, and here it is.
True or false? Ordinary Egyptian soldiers wore ornate metal helmets.
There we go. The boys agreeing on false. Isabel on her own with true. Who's right?
It's false. Only officers had metal helmets. Ordinary soldiers had to protect their heads by growing their hair nice and thick. Tough luck if you were bald.
Excellent. Well, that's the end of the round. And with maximum points, we can see that Christian has won the first year sphere. But be warned, some of them could contain a Stone Age date, which could be worth a few million minus points.
Push, 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 push. And here's a hint, Christian. Pick a gold shiny one. Oh, it's got a good reach. You sure?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Push, 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 push.
So, Christian, you are through to play the Egyptian game, but will you be playing alone, or will everyone else get to play too? Let's find out. It's an all-play silly game, so that means it's off down the time sewer with a lot of you. Lead the way, Harry. Now, the ancient Egyptians were so smart that they built giant pyramids and invented clocks that ran on water. Hard to believe, then, that they also thought human fly traps were a good idea. Yes, it's time to play
Honey slaves.
Flies were such a problem in ancient Egypt, King Pepi had honey poured over slaves and stood them in the corners of the room to attract the flies. You are a honey slave. Your challenge, to catch as many flies on your honey suit and fly swat as possible. The person who catches the most flies in the time limit wins the year sphere. And here come those flies. In 3, 2, 1... Here we go then with honey slaves, and remember the flies have to either stick to their paddles, which are sticky on both sides, Rattus, or their costumes, which are very much like honey, aren't they? Don't
They
look like...
certainly are, Dave. They also look a little bit like custard monsters.
They do look like custard monsters. You're absolutely right.
If you catch any tasty-looking ones, save them for me.
Well, now, come on, Rattus, let's not get involved in the game. Christian, Isabel and Harry have got a lot to be concentrating on. They don't need to be sorting out your lunch. Or your dinner. And lots of flies coming out now. They're... Oh, look at that! That was a little rush of them. Must have disturbed a nest there, I think. Oh, they nearly stuck to each other's paddles there, Rattus. That really is one of the terrible things about this game. You can actually get stuck to each other if you're not careful.
You certainly can.
And now look at this. We can see here that Christian is aiming for them with his paddle, but a few are getting stuck to his chest. He is now part covered in fly. Look at that. And he's winning by a considerable margin, it has to be said. Isabel lagging slightly behind. Oh, look at Christian. He's got one on his apron. Well, that's the first time we've seen a fly there. He's really attracting the flies, Christian. I don't know if he's sprayed himself in something as he's come on, but he's winning this by a country mile, you have to say.
Time's up.
And it's all over. And for my money, if you ever get an infestation of flies in your house, there's your man. Get behind your podiums. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Christian, I've never seen a man more covered in flies than you just were just then. Talk me through that technique.
I was just like,
Ah, so if they missed the bat, they landed on you.
yeah.
And the winner of the Year Sphere with a new Gory Games record, it's Christian. Help yourself to another Year Sphere, Christian. Excellent.
Dave,
Yes.
Is it true that King Pepi had to prove his fitness to rule by running around the pyramid every 30 years?
I believe that is true, yes.
Wow! So you'd have had to do that about 6 times already because you're old.
Yes, I did understand it. OK, on to round 2. And to find out what's up next, it's over to the Gory Grid.
It's the frightful First World War.
And here are your all-important World War I topics. Slang, MI5, trenches, and rats.
What? I don't know what you're looking at me for.
You're a rat. Isabel, it's your turn to pick first this time. What's it going to be?
Rats.
Rats. That is a question from Sir Rattus of Rattus.
Who were known by World War I soldiers as rats after mouldy cheese? Was it A, doctors and nurses, B, army officers, or C, soldiers new to the trenches?
Let's have a look at those answers. OK, so the boys agreeing on B, Isabel on her own with A. Who, if anyone, Rattus, is correct?
Well, Isabel is absolutely right with A. It was, in fact, doctors and nurses. They came from the Royal Army Medical Corps, whose initials are RAMC. The same initials as rats after mouldy cheese. The rat knows all.
So, Harry, it's your turn to pick a topic.
Slang.
Slang. Let's hear that question.
What was the trenches slang for toilet paper? A. Bumf. B. Botty blotty. C. Cheeks.
Show me your answers, everyone. OK, the boys agreeing again with A. Isabel again out on her own with C. What's the answer?
The answer is A. Bumf. It was short for bum fodder. Food for your bottom.
He just said food for your bottom. Food for your bottom. Food for your bottom.
Finished?
Bottom.
One more bottom. Lovely. Christian, your turn to pick a topic.
Trenches.
Trenches.
Your question is, the land between British and German trenches was called what? A, the Channel, B, No Man's Land, or C, the Great Divide?
Let's see those answers now, please. OK, all three answers different. Let's see which one was right.
The answer is B, No Man's Land.
Because no man would want to set foot there for fear of being shot.
It's horrible, but it's true.
It is indeed. So, the final question this round is on MI5, and here it comes.
MI5 was Britain's top secret spy service in World War I. But who did they sometimes use as messengers? A. Clowns. B. Girl guides. C. Squirrels.
Let's see those answers now, please. OK, again, all three answers appearing. Let's find out who's right.
The answer is B. MI5 used girl guides as secret messengers. Wonder if you got a badge for that. Probably not. Wouldn't be a very good way of keeping it secret.
So that's the end of the round. 2 points each for Harry and Isabel. Fingers on buzzers, please, because this is the tie-break question. Beginning with the letter G, what did soldiers have to wear on their face to stop their lungs filling up with poison? Isabel.
Gas masks.
Gas mask is absolutely right. Well done, Isabel. You've won yourself a year sphere. Please collect it now. Isabel, as the quiz winner, you're also through to play the World War I game, but will it be just you or will the others get to play too? Let's find out. It's a single-player, silly game. So, Isabel, get down that time sewer with you. The trenches of the First World War were terrible places to be, made even worse by all the rats. It's time to play
Vanquish vile vermin.
Just like the soldiers in those trenches, you've got to splat some rats.
I'm not listening. La 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 la.
Whack 15 rats with your spade within the time limit to win the year sphere. And your time starts now. So here goes Isabel, attempting to vanquish vile vermin, and Rattus, as usual, you might want to look away here.
Dave, I hate to say this, but I've got a horrible feeling it was Isabel that crowned me at the top of the show.
Oh, it turns out that Isabel has crowned Rattus at the start of the show, and that is surely a police matter. Oh, and that helmet is not going to be enough to protect that rat from the inevitable concussion. So, Isabel has 6 bops, and she needs 15. She's doing well.
Seems very unfair to me, Dave. Isabel comes across as being such a loving, caring, considerate child, when in fact, in reality, she's a monster!
Yes, well, that's the thing. Rats, they shouldn't be there, really. If they don't want to get bopped on the head, they really shouldn't be there. They're all wearing protective helmets now, I notice. It seems to have caught on. You might want to think about one for yourself, maybe a little bandana. I think you'd look quite nice at a jaunty angle, perhaps.
Well, a bandana's not going to afford me any protection from a spade, is it, you clown?
All right. Dear, oh dear. Isabel has done it! Well, superb. 15 rats bashed on the head, and Isabel, the smiling assassin, has done it. Well done, Isabel. Congratulations. Help yourself to another year sphere. And the soldiers didn't just whack the rats that voluntarily popped their heads up. Sometimes they'd smoke the rats out of their burrows using explosives.
Forcing us out of our homes. I mean, honestly, you people are whatever the equivalent is of inhumane. In rat humane. Or in rat aid. Has anyone got a dictionary?
Over to the gory grid to find out what's up next.
It's the terrible Tudors.
And your 4 Tudor topics are tax, palaces, deaths and cures. So, Harry, it's your turn to pick a topic first.
Cures.
Cures. That is a question from my dear old chum, Rattus.
Thank you. One cure for sickness in Tudor times was known as fustigation. But what did it involve? Was it A, fanning someone to give them air, B, sitting in a smoke-filled room, or C, beating them with a stick?
Is it A, B or C? Show me now. Ooh, interesting. Isabel and Harry agreeing with B. Christian out on his own with C. Rattus, what's the answer?
The answer is C, beating them with a stick.
Christian, your turn to choose a topic.
Deaths.
Deaths.
See what you make of this one. In Tudor times, many people died young, but how many Tudors died before their 40th birthday? A, 9 out of 10, B, 7 out of 10, or C, 5 out of 10?
Let's see your answers. OK, the boys agreeing with B. Isabel on her own this time with A. Let's find out.
The answer is A. 9 out of 10 Tudors died before their 40th birthday.
Dave?
Yeah.
Can you remember your 40th birthday? Or do your memories not go that far back?
OK, let's just ignore Rattus. Isabel, it's your turn to pick a topic.
Palaces.
Palaces. Let's hear the question.
I had a huge palace built in Surrey that was to be the biggest of all my building projects, a celebration of the power of the Tudor dynasty. But what did I call it? A, Ego Palace, B, Nonsuch Palace, C, Axminster Palace.
Let's see your answers now, please. OK, total agreement on that one. Everybody thinks it's C. Are they all right or are they all wrong?
The answer's B. I called it Nonsuch Palace, because there's no such palace as grand as it. Get it? No such? Nonsuch? But I don't hear you laughing. That's more like it. Yeah.
You don't want to upset him. OK, to the final question in this round, and it is a question on tax. Let's hear what it is.
My daughter, Elizabeth I, enforced a tax which only men could pay. But what was it a tax on? A, beards, B, hairy backs, or C, man boobs?
Do you all have an answer in your heads? Let's see those answers now, please. Christian, you and Isabel have agreed on A. Harry has gone for B. What's the answer?
The answer is A, beards. Just as well there wasn't a tax on all 3. Actually, what do I care? Tudor monarchs don't pay tax.
So, at the end of that round, Christian and Isabel level on 2 points each. It's fingers on buzzers for you two. Here we go with the tie-break question. Beginning with the letter E, what is the name of King Henry VIII's son and heir who died as a teenager?
Edward.
Edward is absolutely right, Christian. Well done. Help yourself to another year sphere. So, winning the quiz means that Christian is automatically through to play the Tudor game, but will he be alone or will the others get to play too? Let's find out. It's an all-play brainy game, so off down the time sewer with the lot of you. Elizabeth I liked to look good in her portraits, which meant they had to look nothing like her. Smallpox scars and years of wearing poisonous lead makeup meant her good looks were long lost. So Elizabeth made artists copy paintings of her as a young woman, rather than paint how she really looked. It's time to play
Puzzling Portraits.
Your challenge is to assemble 2 perfect copies of an Elizabeth portrait. The only problem is your 2 puzzles are made out of differently shaped pieces. Complete your puzzles quicker than the other horrible historians to win the year sphere. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go then with puzzling portraits. Christian in green, obviously Harry in yellow, and the rat murderer, Isabel in brown. And you have to say, the girls are normally quite good at this, aren't they, Rattus? They're very good at thinking in two areas at once, multitasking.
They are very adept at multi-skilling, it has to be said, Dave, and I'm not stereotyping there in any way, shape or form. Girls are just better than boys in many, many ways.
Oh, Rattus, we're going to get letters now. Please don't write to me, write to him. I must say, though, Isabel has made a tremendous start. 2 portraits well underway. I mean, that one on the left there is all but done. I can clearly make out Queen Elizabeth I there, smiling in her younger days, of course. As she got older, she got rather less attractive than that, it has to be said.
That's right, and all her teeth fell out.
So, Harry, here he comes. He's doing extremely well himself here. Look at this. He is well underway. Harry, I'm very impressed with that performance. But look, Isabel, she really is getting the job done here. She's doing this very, very well. It's a textbook performance in many ways. And Harry also doing well. Christian, you have to say, is lagging a little bit behind there. And Isabel really, really getting there now. She's doing this extremely well. Christian is a long way off. There's a bit hanging over the frame on the other side there, but he's not going to trouble the winner here because I think the winner is about to be decided. She only seems to have 3 pieces or 4 pieces possibly left. Harry's doing extremely well, though. Wait a minute. This could be a late run from Harry, but I think he probably has left it too late. Yes, just 1 more piece left for Isabel now. There it is. She's done it. And there she is, celebrating with the double fist bump, the slight bounce, the ponytail swish. It's a 3-way celebration, and it's much deserved. Isabel, help yourself to another year sphere. Well done. Isabel, you were absolutely magnificent. Did you find it easy?
No.
Have you ever done 2 puzzles at once before?
No.
Will you be doing 2 puzzles at once in the future?
Never.
Never. That'll be it. That was your one time.
Yeah.
Superb.
In Tudor times, everyone wanted to look like Queen Elizabeth, so they all desired flaming red hair, just like hers. And you won't believe what one of the ingredients in the dye was.
I'll take a wild guess. Was it wee?
Yes, we! How did you know?
Well, if you find it funny, it's probably got something to do with either number 1s or number 2s. And he laughs again. Good. Moving swiftly on. Time for the final round. Over to the gory grid one last time to find out what we've got.
It's the Rotten Romans.
But there's no quirky quiz in our final round. It's straight to our big all-play Roman end game. So, everyone, limber up, that's lovely, and then get down that time sewer. Whenever Roman Emperor Vitellius wasn't eating, he liked to be eating. Yes, old Vitellius liked to have 4 feasts a day, so he needed a lot of feeding, which is where you come in. It's time to play
Foul Feast.
Collect Emperor Vitellius's favourite pheasant brain and flamingo tongue pies, grapes and fish, and fling them into his mouth. The person who gets the most in their Vitellius's gob within the time limit wins the year sphere. But be warned, halfway through, a servant is going to spill a cauldron of garum sauce made out of rotten fish guts.
Yummy.
So things will get mighty slippy. Ready? Steady? Fling those pies! Here we go then with Foul Feast. And Isabel scores immediately. What a superb score that was. Look at that refusal of the fish. Oh, dear me. The Roman catering supervisor, Keithus Maximus, will be very disappointed there. He's handing over the fish. He's hit Isabel in the mouth with that pie. What is he playing at out there? This is the worst catering supervision we've ever seen. What a disgrace. And Keithus, when he sees this back, he's normally such a good performer. He'll be very, very disappointed, but they're carrying on regardless. Well played, the contestants. There go the grapes, straight through. Oh, look at that. That is the traditional custard pie chuck. I love to see that. I love to see that.
I like to see a good custard pie chuck from Harry, yes.
Oh, he's a great exponent of it as well. The traditional custard pie chuck, I'm very, very pleased to see it here, but not with a fish. Terrible with a fish. It just doesn't work. That's what you want to be doing with a fish. End over end, fin over tail, or possibly underarm. It works that way too. But no matter how you cut it, the bare facts are that Harry is in the lead here. He's taken the lead and is throwing magnificently. We should point out that these fish have all been line caught. They're not been hauled in with a great big stinky net that's killed other creatures. Christian draws level. We are, of course, expecting the garum sauce any moment, aren't we, Rattus? It's coming very, very soon. Oh, it's landed right on top. Christian has taken that right on top of his head. I don't think I've ever seen anyone get drenched in quite such a spectacular way. We'll see him in a minute. Christian is... look at the state of him. He is absolutely covered in garum sauce, as is poor old Isabel. Dear, oh dear. And Harry's sort of rolling around on the floor like a naughty puppy.
Christian's over
Christian's down! Christian is down. He's blinking it out of his eyes. That rotten fish sauce. Oh, and there's the hooter. It's over. Christian and Harry both get year spheres, but one wonders if any of them will ever stand up again. Back you come, everyone. Well done, well done. How was that for you?
Gungy.
Gungy, Christian. It landed on your head, didn't it? What did it taste like?
Vinegar.
Horrible. Christian, if you could take yours first, please. And Harry, collect yours as well, please. Despite being a total glutton himself, Emperor Vitellius actually killed his own mum by starving her to death.
The clue's in the name. Horrible histories.
Absolutely. Well, it's now time to count up those year spheres, and remember, AD dates are added to your total and BC dates subtracted from it. Christian, we're going to start with you. Open up that first one. 1746 AD, the Battle of Culloden. 377 BC. It's bad, but it's not a disaster. The death of Hippocrates, the father of medicine that year. Let's have a look at the third one. Oh, that's slightly worse. 4000 BC. Stone Age man started farming in Britain around that time. Christian, you need this one to be a good one. It's a good one, but it's not that good. It's 122 AD. Hadrian's Wall was built that year. So, Christian, you have ended up with a score of minus 2,509. Isabel, it's your turn. Let's have a look at your first sphere, please. 1348 AD. The Black Death hit England that year, but it's good news for you. Let's have a look at that second sphere. 1479 BC. The Egyptian queen Hatshepsut came to the throne that year. That takes you back into the minus points. Let's have a look at your third sphere. It's 1861 AD, the death of Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert. That means that you have gone into the lead, Isabel, and you have a total of 1,730. But, Isabel, you can be beaten by Harry. Harry, let's have a look what you've got in that sphere. It's 1014 AD. King Sweyn Forkbeard became the first Viking king of England that year. You've ended up with 1,014 points. It's not quite enough. Isabel, you are today's winner. And do we have a prize for you? No, seriously, do we have a prize for her?
Indeed we do, Dave. I have sourced some beautiful French sausages from a 600-year-old recipe all the way from the picturesque city of Orléans.
Wow, well, they actually sound rather delicious.
Specifically from the siege of Orléans during the 100 Years' War, when the trapped French peasants got so hungry they ate their own fingers. Bon appetit!
I should have known.
Well, congratulations, Isabel.
Here you go, Isabel. Sorry, it's 3 fingers on a plinth. Please don't eat it. It just remains for me to say thanks to Christian, to Isabel and to Harry, and no thanks whatsoever to Rattus.
Your growing frustration is thanks enough, Dave.
You've been watching Gory Games. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Was that show messy enough for you? Or would you have preferred a little more poo? Have you had your fill of blood, guts and gore? Or have we left you still wanting more? Well, keep watching. We'll be back again with Horrible Histories Gory Games. Horrible Histories Gory Games.
Guys, welcome back to CBBC Office. Would you Adam and Eve? Up next is brand new Horrible Histories, and after that, Friday Download, where Kelly's joined by a very special guest.
It is the one and only Talisa. She's performing her new single, Young, and joined us for a bit of Hot or Not.
What's hot, what's not? Let's find out very shortly. But right now, we've been telling us your CBBC All-Stars. Who would you have in your CBBC All-Star team? Got some emails. What read the first one out?
The first one is from Libby. Hello there, Libby. And she says, well said, I think you should take Ian off the team and replace him with Hacker because he's a lot cuter when he puts on that little voice that...
Libby, do you want to see cute me? Check this out.
Not again. Not again!
Oh,
it's me! I'm the cutest!
It's cute. I'm a cute man.
No, you're not.
I can't help myself. George, hi. Maybe he's emailing from the jungle. It's an old film last year. Mums and dads. Steve Batchel has power, bravery, and raw brutality would make him an excellent defender. He's also... he's got a softer side. Check this out. That's where the phrase knitting a scarf for an elephant comes from.
I have never seen that soft side before of him.
It's
the
there.
next one is sent in from Orange Noisy Queen.
Weird
and it's, I think Dion Bromfield should be on the team because she can design some really cool clothes.
What?
But Georgia does stuff, she does music. However, I have come to a non-biased decision as team captain.
Not